is
Exactly, and that's going to be a bit of the mystery too, with that being mentioned. Just the whole fact that there has been less games played, so a lot less of a sample size, tricked with this more experience might also make them more vulnerable, because they're likely to be a lot more intensely practiced, experienced, a lot more things to possibly be able to pinpoint and exploit and be able to find opportunities off of. Meanwhile, GenOne, a little bit more of a mystery, not really going to be much for Trick to be able to play off of, probably just have to try to play their own game and just think about what to be able to adjust on the fly to be able to perform appropriately.
yeah, like everyone's gonna be playing their own game, right? It's the Swiss system. It's best of ones. You're playing at ungodly hours. This one started, at 3, but local time, obviously. But future ones might start at 10 a.m. and we know those ones are gonna be complete random fests. Obviously, you should be expecting upsets more often than not in those scenarios. But hey, they're going to be playing their own game. Let's see whose game is better, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, Ancient is now live, and GenOne, the Frenchies, against Tricked the Danes. Going toward the B site, it seems a relatively fast execute. Where's B? Do not stop.
Yeah, immediately going in, able to just get that site control despite only a single smoke used. But Noidus is actually able to find that first pick. Sixer able to response, but that's when the Julies are able to kick in. Was able to find one and a double, locking down that bomb and just making it a triple to fully seal the round for Tricked. Just denying that bomb plant and making sure that they can't get that space to properly get that bonus cash.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice start for Tricked, right? You don't want to give them the bonus cash from the bomb plant. You want to kick your opponents while they're down, and what will they use to kick them down with? Well, obviously MP9s, Prime Iceberg and Nodios. They've got those equipped, wanting to grind some cash, wanting to farm it up. Usually, you go aggressive here behind the alleyway. Don't see anyone, no problem. They're rushing at the smoke right toward you, and they literally just all died. Tricked surviving with all 5 players in this one and farming up some money, as previously mentioned.
Yeah, usually, especially when you're in these very weak situations where you have almost no investment or none at all, including the force buys as well, it's going to be very important, as you see in the replay, just that beautiful stack up, quick rotation from some of the B players going aggressive for that map control, knowing that they can contest in the situation, and just able to farm them down. It's going to be very important that you try to find ways to get opportunities to grind down the CT economy, find openings to be able to get into it, maybe get rounds, but that's not going to be how the start. Iceberg able to find a double with that MP9. No able to find a little bit of response before Iceberg takes his third in the round. Full B control obtained. They do still have the bomb on Sixer and able to rotate, but it's going to be a 2-on-4. It's going to be very important for them to win these picks as they try to reset and go for some mid control.
Man, but that is not the start to the round you want, right? Just going onto that B lane area and losing the vast majority of your squad. Oh, and not even managing to get lucky as he goes for the ballsy wide swing right into the Molotov as well. Jane with a lot to do here. Jane Tyne, perhaps? Yes, it is. That's a double. It's just one double remaining, and he wins this round. He has the bomb. He could just run toward B, but he doesn't know that. He expects someone to be sneaking out from A tons, and that does happen. Doesn't expect Nodios, though. And that's going to be the 3-0 start. Tricked, almost letting that one slip.
A bit unfortunate for Jane able to just get that recovery and at least do a significant amount of recovery damage by taking down 3 players from Trick, breaking down that economy, but still the situation that is put into begin, Trick just absolutely destroying GenOne. Just a fantastic weekend from Iceberg situation. And that just means it's going to be a little bit problematic here as they're left with just the Deagles. How do they plan to find their way into this? Iceberg once again going aggressive, they're just able to get very aggressive control around this B lane, and GenOne not able to find any way to respond at the moment. Does mean that Tricked are burning through this utility quick, though.
They are, but once the utility goes away, they can still kind of hold those angles for a long while, though. So I think this map control remains theirs for the time being. The only counter you can do to this kind of a setup, I guess, is to just go away with all 5 players. I mean, it is the weakest part of the defense currently, just Quez present in the temple. So they could really just run on in there and get the bomb down for that tasty, tasty plant money. However, they're trying to actually contest B lane and middle with minimal utility and obviously even more minimal armor and weaponry.
Yeah.
Lots of things lacking here. Lucky? Hopefully it won't be caught lacking on that corner. He's going to get some action soon.
Yeah, it's a very interesting play to go for with 30 seconds left. Not much time to work with. They're willing to just try to run the bomb through mid. No, able to do a little bit of distraction before he's taken down. They're able to split it onto a 3-on-4, and a fantastic D. Jane once again able to tune on in. And that means they're able to space to get this bomb plant down on A. I was concerned that going for this mid so late, they wouldn't have any time to get the bomb down. It'll be up to Prime to get the double in response. And just able to enable this retake.
Yeah, like, they're taking so long with this retake, and then it's just Jane coming into the back. They're not going to be checking this tunnel again. They don't have utility to kind of block this corner off, and they even went for the fake to start things out with. Jane, he saw the shadow. No Dios. I don't think you can do this one, bud. Yeah, Jane says adios to no Dios, and takes the first round for GenOne. What a back and forth round this one was. Just running the gauntlet through middle into the connector. Like a couple of speed demons onto that A site, and even winning it at the end. That was unexpected from GenOne. Nicely played.
Yep, I would say strategically the positioning, just going for this very late mid take is just so risky and just leaves so many opportunities to just be denied the map control. I was expecting with a little bit of utility for them to use it to just a late, just execute with just the little bit of utility that they but they decide to just fully lean towards mid, and they just hit some nice shots to be able to make it work. Iceberg willing to take the risk here with the Nova. It's going to be very difficult considering all these players are going to have head armor now on GenOne.
Yeah, you can still kill someone into the head with a helmet on, though. You just have to aim slightly to the right, ever since they gave shotguns fixed kind of spray patterns, or whatever you would call them. Spread patterns, maybe. It is a skill-based weapon. It's just that not enough pros are experimenting with it. So I'm very happy for Iceberg to have taken this this little gamble here. I am no is a fan of dodging flashes, apparently. Still managing to down one player are Tricked. And that's mission accomplished for them as far as they're concerned. Even Prime getting the AK. All right, now they're cooking.
Just able to get that pick, turn it to a 4v4. Maybe not best traditionally for the CT side, but to have that room is fantastic until Wasink with Sixer are able to get those 2 picks, crack open this A site, and leave it a 2-on-4 unresponded. Just some beautiful picks, and it just leaves them in this situation now that they're going to have to save. Just try to hold on to Prime with this AK, but they're already planning to retake mid. Having Jane nearby towards mid, and Sixer holding for the retake from this angle. Giving it up, but again, Iceberg with that Nova, it's going to be difficult for him to do much in this situation. GenOne are able to find these string of 2 rounds together, and that's going to break this trick.
That's exactly what they were hoping for. Get that 3rd one on the board, get that nice start as the tease, you know, you lost your pistol, don't worry. At this point, you may as well have won it. The early sort of half bonus is there, and middle might be theirs as well. Look at those USPs just running on down. Jane can't believe the amount of targets he has to spray down, but he does do it with the help of Neo and Wozniak and, you know, the rest of the gang. That was just a massacre on middle with GenOne not really feeling the peak.
just beautiful spray control, able to transfer and get that damage, getting 3 out of the 4. And just being able to enjoy equaling up that score, see a bit more comfort. Feels like maybe a little bit of luck has gone their way to be able to get those entries, but overall for these 1 rounds, but they're certainly playing off of it, and they're keeping up with the pace, just completely changing it up with this aggression, and this is going to be the key that's needed. Some strategy. Jane just going for so much space. Going to the smoke, not take the risk. Wise decision as they start setting up, already executing utility into this A play. Likely going to be too fast for anyone from Trick to respond with this fast pace. Might have missed the shoulder. One Quez peeking on through, but Iceberg's able to find that first pick on the side and enable this retake to come on in.
But now they can just go for after plant positions. The smoke does get re-smoked. It's just the presence in the back that's worrying right now. And Tricked, I think that's where they find the crucial advantage going into this round. Of course they do. Iceberg from the back melts Neo. And now it's gonna be a massacre unless Sixer has anything to say about it. He does not. Gets taken down. No. As his namesake would have you believe. Has no chance in this round. And the bomb will get defused. Nice retake from Tricked. Nice side take from GenOne. It's just that the flank did come on in and kind of ruined all of their ambitions there, didn't it?
Absolutely beautiful from Tricked. Being able to trade each other, plan out the HP, and not have anyone go down. Meaning this perfectly clean retake. Still plenty of burn through on GenOne. Plenty more AKs to try to take advantage. But it means that they do have Lucky given over this AWP. And able to plan out on how to adjust. GenOne able to find everything they were looking for and get that early A site control. But Iceberg able to find that one pick. Is able to find the response. And once again, it's that first pick being given over. Quez able to find that opening. And now they can just play back. Be a little bit more patient. Perfect nade, just chipping down all these players. Gonna let this M4 be able to pop off if the damage is found for Wasnik and Jane, able to find 1 each, giving that man advantage. However, after the last round, they know these after plays have been a bit of a struggle. Time immediately responding, just getting the 2 headshots in. The shots from Neo giving away his position, even though the smoke wasn't as clear. It's up to Sixer from this lurk position to try to catch him off guard. 2-1v1, but the shoulder's shown early, and he's unable to win the second duel against Iceberg. And Prime's just able to get on bomb. They're able to figure out how to pick up one of these AWPs, able to conserve that into the next round. Ideally, you want these 3 rifles saved to be able to start building an economy. But just 2 with the AWP is certainly going to be enough for them to work with as we go into a short pause.
It's going to be a tactical one, presumably, for GenOne. Throwing away, well, letting 2 rounds slip out of their control, we could call it. With that retake on A being deadly as ever. Man, Prime just out of tempo, like opening that round back up. It looked kind of lost, to be honest, but the GenOne players just weren't kind of hidden, and they didn't play passively from their after plant positions. Nodios, like, he tried to actually hold on to the A site. He was playing that standard headshot angle on box, but literally didn't even get a chance to see his enemies before they shot him, through the very tip of that corner of the box. It's if the enemy's further away from the angle than you are, right, they see you before you see them. It was that kind of careful play that got GenOne 2 clean entries, which did win the round in the end. That was good to see. Let's see if they have what it takes to take, well, mid control and B lane. That's the 2 ingredients that GenOne are looking for, right? But Nodios takes 2 of them down. This B lane, it's his, dude.
Yeah, just an absolute beautiful setup. Ending up having a molly on the drop ramp, jumps up on the boxes. He can have a clear angle onto these players, effectively creating a one-way. Very creative play to get in mind, to be able to get that first pick off and follow up onto a second. They do give away the space that they could get this bomb down on this B site, and able to do so, willing to plant it on that right side. denying the spam from coming in. But still, it's 5-on-3. It's going to be difficult here. Neo able to find the first, but Wasnik's back, just completely exposed to Prime here any second. Will be able to just take these players down one at a time unless Neo hits a quick headshot just in the Prime position. But Wasnik's able to turn around, but the smoke fade still gives him the favor needed. Quez able to land that one shot, and they're able to bait the op shot out of Sixer, having to carefully respect it and just jump out of the situation, preserve that AWP, as there's no way for him to hold them off the bomb with the aggression being put in. Just has to conserve that weapon next, at least being able to save it and get the bonus reserve due to that bomb plant in the first place.
Yeah, that bomb plant's gonna be the silver lining for them, won't it? It's kind of required. You know, you always want the extra money, and if you at home want some extra money when you I don't know, top up your balance on Thunderpick, for example, well, you can do just that. You use code TBS3, that's Thunderpick Bitcoin Series 3, right? That's the acronym, you got it. 100% deposit bonus up to 550 USD. So do go ahead and check that one out on Thunderpick. Best place to bet, if you ask me, but I'm biased, obviously. Let's jump into this 10th round, shall we? It's GenOne with, obviously, a buy. Not that much reserve money left. Tricked aren't exactly rolling in dough either, but at least they got something going on. And a lot more of a passive round in this one. Straight.
Yep. Willing to go for that pick, a beautiful flashbang, able to pick off Lucky early, and that's going to force some rotations out, and it's a perfect bait and switch. Last time they went for this simple A execute, just throwing a smoke and a couple of flashbangs to execute their way in. It ended up being an A execute this time, the resetting, changing up their strategy, playing a lot more passive and able to crack their way into deep bomb site. However, no bomb nearby, so Iceberg with that pick's able to start working on retaking, and Quez finding another. This comes a bit of an issue. Nono has to worry about two different angles. Able to find the first, but the immediate trade there from Iceberg is able to take him down. A bit of a missed smoke, but he's still able to find the space to rotate as it's left to a 2v2, reliant on Sixer and a rotation towards this A site until Quez takes him down, and that bomb's left in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Sixer really exposed his position, right, with those loud footsteps, with that loud molly. The top mid presence just takes care of him easy peasy, and Quez, an even easier kill for him. Jane cannot get that bomb down, and Tricked continue their lead with, I guess, GenOne having picked up enough of a loss bonus to consider going for a buy here. I mean, you got Sixer and Wasnik on low buys, but at this point, you can just kind of go with Kevlar helmet, get some MAC-10s, right, run toward that A site, get that bomb down. You know the defense there isn't exactly the strongest in the world. They do like to go for that B lane and middle early on. Do Tricked. It's Lucky.
This might...
Yeah.
Yep, and this might be one of those ongoing effects of how their utility has been whittled down. The fact that they've lost these rounds due to defuse a couple of... The fact they weren't able to use that utility to secure the B site, even though they had multiple players on it, just allowing Trick to freely come in and retake it, just fully obtaining that control and just denying GenOne from getting around, even though they were able to successfully play that early to mid-game correctly, just falling apart due to losing out the duels and the map control and being left once again in this 3v5 situation.
But B site, definitely takeable. That smoke pretty much covers off most of the defense. It's just Prime in his little corner there. Has had success. Traditionally hasn't really pushed utility. Doesn't need to, because Quez just kills them on the cross. And Sixer, as he tries to cross, well, didn't look both ways. Got hit. Not by a car, but a couple of bullets. Iceberg taking care of him at the end. And Trick just survived with all 5 players. Easy peasy. Money, obviously, still a problem for GenOne. Probably time for a bit of a half buy and to try and pick up the pace with some of these, I don't know, early round attacks. Or go for a slower, like, kind of a deagle round, go for picks. That's possible, too.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to just start potentially bring out a timeout soon. Try to think about what's been going wrong. What's these small little details that's making you slip these rounds? and stopping this from being a more competitive half than it is at the moment. And it isn't competitive, but CT side's normally very dominant, and there could be a way for GenOne to be able to find those rounds to be able to upset it. But instead, they're just left with these Deagles, just constantly able to get these bomb plants multiple times in a row, but just unable to find any way to close it, and just slipping up at the last moment. So they set up, just trying to poke and prod, just get some utility burnt around the map, try to find some information. But once again, Tricked are just super aggressive, have full control, and GenOne just struggling to contest this B lane in any way means that Trick can just play far more aggressively on A and just have all the information in the world they need to just be in favor for these rounds.
Yeah, it's really just Trick don't need to show GenOne any respect if they haven't earned it, right? And they're gonna continue pushing lane until, well, GenOne force them on back. It's not an unsolvable puzzle. This one, I'm afraid, yeah, didn't have an easy solution, but I suppose Sixer killing 2 and getting on B is, well, I suppose it wouldn't be easy, it would be simple. Either way. The bomb plant does go down, and Sixer looking for a third, doesn't find it. But GenOne, mission accomplished as far as they're concerned. Let's see if Wozniak can make this extra credit with the win on top of it as well. Probably not. Jane's left in an 18 HP clutch versus 3, I think. This one's done and dusted. Trick to pick up the 9th, but not as clean as the previous ones have been.
Yep, able to start whittling down that economy a little bit more, but still with that one round and about the 2k in reserve, it's going to build up to plenty of cash for Trick. As once again, another one of these defuse rounds. GenOne just able to keep cracking their way into it, and they are able to find that opportunity, break it down into a 3v3, but just not able to play off of it, just taking these aggressive risks and end up losing players a bit early in these after plants, leaving them to falter a little bit and just unable to find more, leaving Tricked on this beautiful 9-3 scoreline, looking for double digits before the end of the half.
We'll see if they can get him. Looking at Sixer to open something up with that AWP. On middle, not really going to be getting those duels though, is he? Man, just a straight up A attack at some point. Like, at this point in the round, would probably hit the spot. I don't see how Quez could really call for backup in any meaningful sense, but I suppose they did just announce themselves on middle. Let's see how this one goes. Iceberg behind the Molotov, doesn't want to get melted. Lets them pass, and, well, he lets them onto mid, where they take that part of the map. Let's see how they can continue their reign toward the A site. Not past Quez, tell you that for free.
Oh. They're able to find that response. Even then, they still have one more Noidus on the site. The fact of that lack of B presence, he has to switch to the USP, but that doesn't matter. That's enough to end it, leaving Sixer 1v3. They do a beautiful job adjusting for the mid control, able to get that B lane early on in the round to be able to contest. But once again, they just are unable to find anything fit to tuck through, and just these beautiful off angles being played for the Trick. Quez able to find that double, just leaves everything in control. Just having to switch to that USP A1, but still the damage being done to slow down the player and allow that USP to be able to finish off the job. And those double digits, and GenOne once again forced to scratch their head, think about what they're missing, what they can do differently. They've tried all these different paces of fast, slow with the aggression. They're able to crack onto these sites so many times, but once again, just unable to land that round win once they obtain the control of that site. It can be so difficult just to get these bombs down to begin with, but they seem to be faltering and giving away these openings once they get that bomb down, allowing Trick to get these retakes.
Yeah, 7 in a row, man. It's been brutal for GenOne. I mean, they haven't tried actually getting kills on Neo and Nono, though. That's a novel strategy I would suggest at this point in the game. They have only 5 kills combined, not having the best series so far. and I'm afraid time's running out. You kind of need the 4 rounds at least on T side, right? Otherwise, you lose the pistol in the next half, and well, it's all over. I'm afraid from there then on. I don't know. Sixer's been having a good game. Like he's faltered when you expected him to, but he got the kills you expected him to, right? He's not like underperforming or anything. But on the other side, it's just, I guess, Quez and Iceberg with the most kills, but in general, just anyone who plays toward that B site that's had really enough impact in this game. We'll see if they can continue having it, though.
Yep, absolutely showing that knowledge and experience and able to apply it to be able to perform beautifully with that AWP on this T side. It's going to be difficult to see how they respond to this. It's going to be very important once we end up switching halves for GenOne to reset their mind, pull things back a little, and just try to think about just setting up easier kills, just knowing they're on that defensive side, that they can relax a little bit. There's still that chance into it. Beautiful flashbang setup, but Nono's unable to peek. But Nia will be able to take down Iceberg. Prime able to find that trade in response and get away with it, though, keeping that man advantage. Able to split up that mid control. And that beautiful spam almost connecting onto target. Just up to Jane, reliant on him to be able to find some pick from this lurk, or at least to regroup with his team to take this B site.
Like, no, in that position, man. He had to chase the refrag. He just hid in the corner instead. Gets him this 3 versus 4 that does become a 3 versus 3 thanks to Jane, but Lucky still thinks he's got him trapped in that corner. That's not going to be the case, I'm afraid. Jane has already made his way down to bottom mid, and, well, I don't know where he intends to continue. I suppose they'll meet up on middle. Lucky was way too aggressive on that angle, just never really considered that people might be coming from other places. Risk doesn't pay off, I'm afraid. So the A site does fall, and the retake not looking terribly likely. GenOne gonna be thanking their lucky stars if they managed to get at least this 4th round, because with only 3 in the next half, they basically had no chance.
Once again, it's a hero play from Jane to be able to break their way into this, able to find that lurk kill towards mid, and able to quickly rotate out before his position can be locked down. You saw that reluctance for a second, and that was almost his downfall. But he's able to get away with it. It means Quez just has to save this M4 for the last round. No reason to try to go for this retake. Needs to be able to toss a weapon and utility towards his teammates. GenOne, fortunately for them, will respect it. With that, just Jane, once again, just able to do that quickly, pick up the op from Sixer, and able to find that response to just deny the retake. If he goes down there, that falters that donut, and we go back into a 2v2 situation, and possibly another bomb plant, and a retake succeeded for Tricked to be able to take them down. But instead, it's GenOne able to get that 4th you mentioned, and possibly set up to get a 5th if they can break their way through.
Possibly. That's what they're going to be hoping for. Tricked, at least with enough money to invest into this one. They're going to be happy about that. Let's see if they can succeed here on B lane yet again. Well, Prime certainly does. Running down ramp, getting 2 kills, pulling on. And, of course, his teammates get 2 as well, meaning that this round is well and truly over. Ladies and gentlemen, this first half comes to a screeching halt for GenOne, as 3 points is everything they were able to get. 3 consecutives in the beginning, basically, and then, well, just 1 at the end there, just in the nick of time. I don't think it's enough to really get it over the line in the next one, but hey, we'll see how the pistol goes and what kind of form Tricked shows as the T side. Also, shout out to Prime for being a bad boy in matchmaking, getting himself muted there. I really like this system.
Absolutely. It's absolutely beautiful to see. Just being able to Prime, just taking that adjustment, bringing out the A4, and just going completely aggressive, able to just grind these players down, and just able to find that double opening and just absolutely make this B rush play falter.
Like it did time and time again, right?
Trick to be set up to just have these 11 rounds on the T side.
Ooh, mid rush.
So we now have
Whoa.
Neo set up passive. Certainly those footsteps are going to be heard, but what can you do in this situation? You can try to push them and sandwich around, but you do have the Noidos that can do this late response, as just players are all over the map. A site being taken from CT, Lucky getting taken down, but Noidos able to rotate in, help out Quez, take down Jane and Neo, leaving the double dualies against Sixer with the USB.
Oh!
Able to find that first headshot. It will show that experience, but he only has the single flashbang to respond with. Has to gamble what side he's on. Not able to find him in the donut. Has that info.
Jesus.
Finds the headshot too. Nice and
Plenty of
clean.
time.
No defuse kit, but should have time on this defuse to be able to get the round for GenOne.
Oh my god, Sixer. What a clutch at the end. Holy hell. When you see the double dualies, right, you think, well, surely it's over. I mean, all they have to do is kind of connect both of the sprays anywhere into the body, like any number of bullets. That would have actually just put him into the grave, but he survives it, he clutches it, and keeps GenOne in the game. The 5th round is gonna be mighty tasty. They just have to watch out now, because Tricked, of course, did plant the bomb, meaning they do have the force buy in the second, being pretty good, arguably better than the CTs by themselves. So GenOne not out of the woods yet, but at least they're starting to hear, you know, distant sounds of civilization. They're approaching it. They're getting close.
This is the immediate difference. Despite 2 Molotov in a smoke spent towards B, GenOne unable to get that B lane control early, just delay them from trying to push into those Jaguar tunnels and just find that presence, just able to have full control, and you just have these T's crawling all around in it. Once again, we have Noidos with this Galil lurking towards the bottom of mid. It looks like they might go for some control that direction. But it's just playing this passive off angle towards the door, able to catch the shoulder of Jane as they try to flashbang peek into lane and get that man advantage. This leaves a little bit of a problematic situation now, as these players could set up to and still 2 on this pick. But with this lurk from Noidos, this round might as well be called done.
Well, yeah, the B site certainly was done. Sixer and Neo doing their best to keep him at bay, but of course, site does fall in the end, and the afterplan positions are taken. Bomb ticking away as Prime is even checking the B lane, seeing that no one was there. Wozniak was hiding in the cubby this whole time. That's a free kill you get just for good timing. There you go. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Now you have to take down Quez as well. Takes the aim duel initially, does mess it up a little bit, gives Wozniak enough space to go for this 10-second defuse. Oh my god, surely you don't stick it! Surely not. Quez eventually makes it around that corner and gets the headshot. That was touch and go there for a second, but Tricked get it done in the end. That B defense just not quite strong enough for GenOne.
Yeah, no way to really find yourself once you're stuck in that situation, that 10-second defuse. It shows how important those kits are. GenOne able to find the frags to make it competitive, despite all these little angles, just able to find that flirt mid, and just all these different openings and positionings to be able to crack their way in. Just able to even things out into a 1v1, but just that situation to be unable to close it, meaning Tricked have these 12 and immediate upset, meaning GenOne left with just these pistols, and they're immediately going for this A play, multiple smokes off, trying to block off these donuts, forcing these pistol players to push on out to take the engagement, but they run into their own smoke and a bunch of flashbangs. A little bit chaotic for them to engage much, but Wozniak will push on forward, able to get heavy damage for No and Jane to respond with 2. But there's going to be another 2 more to find, and he finds that first onto Iceberg, leaving him in a 1v1 with Noidos, and he's going to reset, wrapping all the way around to A-Long. A beautiful play to make in this sort of situation. But the question is, if Noidos is prepared for the possibility, they could end up wrapping around each other. That's a quick timing, but he misses the shots! Noidos able to land the flick. Tricked get the 13. And with that force and response from GenOne failing, this is Tricked certainly set up for 14, and GenOne possibly faltering before they can get a start on the CT side.
Oh, that was heartbreaking, man. Jane, he does the whole flank, gets like the last player completely unprepared as well. And then when it's time to hit the shots, he just goes around the corner a little bit too fast, sprays him onto the wall behind him. I mean, that's to say nothing of the engagement that took place prior. I mean, it was an absolute clown fiesta there on the A site. Just people running through smokes all over the place, 5-7s, finding kills as they often do in close quarters situations. I'm surprised Jane even made it as close as he did, but to lose it in that fashion, that is certainly not how you want to go out swinging. And now GenOne, well, they're on Nico, of course, tricked, on pace to get this 14, and of course conclude the speed run with a victory here on Ancient.
Absolutely a possibility on the cards. Have to consider everything in mind. The USB's going out.
Everyone from middle trying to surprise at least like 1 or 2 players, but unfortunately for them, the entire goddamn squad was here. Bomb not even getting planted before the lurkers get found as well. Well, that was the speed run to the 14th round concluded. Let's see if they can get the any percent with the 2 rounds in a row.
And with that, it's also important to speed run, to be willing to top up your balance at Thunderpick. Don't forget to use promo code TBS3 for 100% bonus up to $550 deposited for that boosted bonus. Clicking the banner down below. As we get into what could be one of these very last rounds, trying to rush on in, just crack immediately into that B-bomb site, and this lurk from Prime is going to be essential. Catching that silencer barrel to be able to catch Sixer out early, and Iceberg just lurking in this deep smoke. No idea of any of these players to be aware of this, and it's a perfect lurk as they go to this A site, and he can just walk behind No-No. Also going for that knife! It misses, but he can just go for the double right click. It doesn't even matter. He grabs that M4, just insult to injury, as things just have not gotten well for GenOne, and it just falls apart even more as there's just these 2 players left. Going to be desperate to save these weapons. Tricked understanding to hunt it, but Prime's at T-spawn. GenOne have no way to respond to it. And lasting with the last M4 left, that smoke likely heard, giving away that position. So he's going to have to fight his way out of this, and he can't find anything. Nothing left on GenOne. If they're left out 5-15, only 29.50 on 4 of their players to work with, and little hope left in this situation.
Good God, look at the mini-map here, guys. Like, GenOne, entire defense here on B, as they start like a premature rotate onto the A site, you know, going for that retake. The flanks, there were just way too many flanks and way too many, like, wasted opportunities. No. I talked about him before, him and Neo just having like a terrible game so far. Before, they had 5 kills together. Now, just before the game concludes, they made that number 10. You know, that's not the best. If they were a lone player on 10 kills, that would be bad, but this makes it even worse. Giving up all those precious opportunities in the round previous means they just have to hit even harder in this one, and sure enough, that does not happen. No Dios unlucky, getting the entries onto B in a solo bomb plant. Well, there's a dude on middle and the other one's on A. Oh no, there are 2 guys on B, never mind. It's still, you're not waiting for your squad to all rotate toward B site, and now you're in a 2 versus 2.
Absolutely able to upgrade to that AK from that mid pick, but Quez just way too much information on the position. And Sixer just has to fake that bomb plant, no defuse kit. And Iceberg's just staring right at him, the 4x3. Willing to go for that knife, and just goes for the left click. 2